Baby, I just got done to me, done to me, no, done to me, done to me. I just got done to me, done to me, no, done to me, done to me. Baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done to, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done to, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done to me, done to me, no, done to me, done to me. I just got done to me, done to me, no, done to me, done to, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done to, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done to, baby, I miss it, baby, I miss it, done, baby, I miss it,
When the day is done and all that's left is you and I, you and I. We're the only ones to bring the city back to life, back to life. The earth is shaking, there's something underneath, we're gonna take it. Like beggars on their knees, there's no escaping. We're prisoners of peace, I know you want this, we want this. We go crazy for the moonlight, we go crazy for the stars. Would you please do me the honor, wrap my world around your arms, and I swear I'll be there for you, we'll be diamonds in the dark. We go crazy for the moonlight, we go crazy for the stars. Flames, open flames. You got my heart shining brighter than a summer's day. Ooh, ooh. The earth is shaking, there's something underneath, we're gonna take it. Like beggars on their knees, there's no escaping. We're prisoners of peace, I know you want this, we want this. We go crazy for the moonlight, we go crazy for the stars. Would you please do me the honor, wrap my world around your arms, and I swear I'll be there for you, we'll be diamonds in the dark. We go crazy for the moonlight, we go crazy for the stars.
Alrighty, good morning, good morning. What a way to start the stream. Instant nuke to start the stream. Nuking so hard that the percentage change on TradingView isn't even updating. But hope you guys are doing well. I'm assuming that Trump just started speaking. So this is going to be probably a lower participation stream. I'm sure most people are more entertained and want to watch what Trump says in case he says something about, you know, the strategic reserve or anything like that. So I picked a funny time to stream. I decided that I wasn't going to trade today. So if I'm not going to trade today, there's no point in really watching what he's going to say, right? The only reason I would watch is if I'm going to like try to ape something based on something or another that Trump says. Not interested in that. I've never been a news trader, so I'm going to once again avoid trying to speculate on news. But good morning, everyone. A lot of familiar faces. Hope you guys are doing well, and hope your holidays went well, and Happy New Year, by the way. This is my first stream of 2025. It's been a minute since I streamed, so let's go. You want to know something super funny is the last time I streamed publicly was right here. Literally at the previous all-time high Pico top. That was my last stream before I went on, like, you know, winter vacation, or I would say like hiatus, and then started moving. But let me know if you guys, you know, have any issues with audio and background music and stuff. New setup, and you guys know I'm a boomer when it comes to streaming. Doc, I need medical advice. Do you have any thoughts on red light therapy? I actually don't know what that is, man. I don't know if you're fucking with me, or if that's like something actually out there that I've never heard of. I'm quite literally all in for the last 3 months, so I'd rather watch a little bit of this. Yeah, I mean, that's same as me, right? If you guys have been, you know, avid stream watchers since last year, you guys know where I went mega risk on, where I put the risk appetite on. And from, you know, when you allocate in times where you're speculating on downside momentum waning, right? When you're basically saying like the bears are doing fuck all, it's time for me to put the risk back on the market. Your only goal is to remove risk from here, right? You only have one job in the market, and that's to see, hey, is the market getting frothy? Should I be taking profits? Do I need to remove risk from the market? Do I need to build stables up? And that's, you know, pretty much what I've done over the last month is kind of just, you know, de-risk, re-risk, de-risk, re-risk, right? And we're in one of those moments right now where I would consider it, as far as my trading journey goes, one of the, I guess, biggest uncertainty moments in an uptrend that I've ever seen. Obviously, this doesn't compare to Luna, 3AC, FTX, all of those, USDC depegging. This doesn't compare to like downside uncertainty, but along an uptrend, I've never seen this much uncertainty, right? And it's all speculation on what's going to happen from here. Is it sell the news? Is it buy the news? Is he going to say this? Is he going to say that? How does the meme coin affect liquidity? And which I'll give you guys all my thoughts on everything in a minute, but just want to start off by saying that it's interesting to me that like we are collectively witnessing history every single day. And I think when you're in these unprecedented times, traders don't exactly know how to position themselves, right? And what is the leading cause of, you know, downtrends is basically people de-risking, right? They remove risk. There's uncertainty. You know, when they, you know, I used to hear this all the time, is the markets don't like uncertainty. Well, I've been around long enough that I don't like uncertainty either. You know, I'm not going to just blindly fucking full stack send a shitcoin when I have no fucking clue what's going to happen either, right? So this is where having a simple system based on trends and price action helps you out, just helps you set simple invalidations for risk, like we did over here, which I'll get into in a minute. If anyone's interested in how I played the last month since the last stream, let me know. Otherwise, I can just skip that. Good morning, good mornings.
Hope you had nice holidays. Already settled in the new house. I have just boxes everywhere. I would say like everything's out of the pods into the house. All the boxes are in the house. One of my friends helped me out, childhood friend who you know, reunited with all my childhood friends now, but helped me move into the house. But I just gotta take everything out of the boxes. My girlfriend's coming tomorrow. She stayed at our old house, and my mom's coming with her with the cats. Doc, is FWOG still good? FWOG is just, it's a conviction bet, bro. The chart like is down 85%. Like if you want to sell, you're basically just selling for like peace of mind. You're like, I don't want to fucking hold this thing that just keeps going down. You know, sell your bag and move on with your life, and maybe you want to re-risk to FWOG if it ever starts uptrending again, which is a respectable strategy. Do I think it's done? I mean, I got asked the same questions right here on PEPE, and there's no real FWOG like what do you call it, FUD, right? I don't know how many of you guys were around back here, but this was legitimate PEPE FUD down here. This was like the dev wallet got hacked and the dev started selling, and this was 85% down from the highs. So PEPE had already been selling off for months. I don't know why my drawing tool's not working. There we go. Like it was already down tragically, and it went down 87% from the highs, right? And down here, you know, we had people in the industry giving up on PEPE and calling it the atom of meme coins and moving on and being disappointed through all of this, right? It underperformed. And this is even as recently as February of last year. So, you know, 11 months ago. And it, you know, conviction paid off. The thesis was simple on PEPE. It's the most recognizable meme on the internet. Thesis is simple on FWOG. It's just, it's great artwork, and it's, in my opinion, separated itself from the entire pack of Solana meme coins, right? If I want to bet on a Solana meme coin, I want to bet on the one that I think is the most interesting. And that's it. Audio good, video good, let's go. Also, I have better internet now, so hopefully the internet's better. I'll put you on when I'm rich, talking about the red light therapy. Supposedly has lots of... Are you talking about infrared light? When you're saying red light, are you talking about infrared light? Because that would make more sense, I think. Doc competing with Trump stream for attention. Dude, that was the plan. Like, fuck it. This is my normal stream time. You think I'm going to stop for the president? In the past few weeks, I'm only losing cash. Is it me or you the same? I mean, some of my bags are getting demolished. Some of them are going up, right? Like my PEPE, most recent buys on PEPE were right here. At the POB and the weekly trend, right? So you know, if you guys have been watching my streams for long enough, you guys know exactly how I trade, where I de-risk, where I re-risk, right? So if I see a market structure break and I see daily trend loss, I'm assuming the weekly trend's gonna get tagged. I re-risk at the weekly trend. I use confluence of price action, prior all-time high point of breakdown. This is that all-time high point of breakdown. Confluence, rebuy. In this, I've done a little bit of trading, but overall net positive, right? Ethereum, same thing, right? It's been crabbing around, but I bought the same location, bought this capitulation, right? So not really making anything, not really losing anything. Been underwater, been super above water. Solana was a banger, right? It did the exact same thing. I think the last time I was on stream, we talked about the Solana downtrend, right? This was one of the big topics of the last stream that I was talking about, is that Solana's underperforming drastically. It's in bearish market structure. It's losing the daily trends. It's rejecting the daily trends. And literally, I think the next day after the stream is when I sold my Solana, bought it back here. Was, you know, dealt with this volatility, and here we are. So, you know, and then FWOG, obviously, like this thing's down bad, but for me, this is not a massive part of my portfolio, so it's like not really hurting me too much. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm doing okay. I hit portfolio all-time highs pretty recently, so I'm more than happy with the way that I've managed the market. But yeah, man, I understand that if you're like heavily allocated to certain coins, you're getting fucked. Oh my god, we're actually talking about red light therapy. If you want to do it for cheap, buy incubation lights for chickens. It's just about the wavelength and shit. This is... Oh my god. Okay. Alright. There you go. You guys are getting medical advice, health advice in chat. I wish I could pull up Trump on stream so we could watch it together, but I don't know what the copyright issues with that. I don't want the stream and the channel taken down, so I'm just not doing it. I thought about it. I thought about like having a little panel in the corner of the screen to have Trump up. Can we see the different tabs in your trading view? Sure. The template it's just different, right? So if I'm like looking at charts at night, I'd prefer looking at the dark template, or if my, you know, lights are off in the room. Daytime, I just look at the light template. VWAP scan, Paragon VWAP scan, yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, right? OG spaghetti, which I'm probably gonna have to reload. Damn, my computer. I think this is my computer, not the internet. OG spaghetti and then meta spaghetti, which I'm also gonna have to reload. You're listening to me and Trump at the same time is crazy. What about grass? Is it invalidated now? Yeah, trading below the listing anchored. I don't want any part of grass for the time being. Let it do what it wants to do. I'll revisit that in the future. Honestly, I'm going to talk about grass in my yearly review, which should drop this week. I'll work on it tomorrow. I'm getting all the notes set up, and I'm just got to start recording and put that together. So yeah, I'll talk about grass in there, the lessons learned, what I'm happy with, what I did, what I'm unhappy with. I lost my grandma's retirement account listening to this scammer promote huge FWOG scam. Stay away. I repeat, stay away. Okay. Are you talking about me? Am I the scammer? Promoting a huge FWOG scam? That's crazy, bro. That's how we know retail is here, guys. That's how you know like retail is here and knocking with their 3 brain cells. Bro, you clicked the buttons and lost money in your grandma's retirement account. I really hope you're trolling. What are your thoughts on the cycle ahead, time and price-wise? Any 4-5x that seems reasonable? Honestly, 4-5x, it's going to have to come from low caps, as it always does. Do I see any of the mega caps doing a 4-5x? Like, could I say Solana's going to do a 4-5x? Probably not. It's going to be very tough. Like, you keep getting these plays, but they're not well known, right? The 4-5x's come on new and shiny coins. When Grass launched, I got a I mean, when I closed this position out, I got a total 4x because I bought launch date, right? When I bought ONDO last year, I got handed multiples to over 10x on ONDO. So the new plays are where you're going to get the majority of your money. Like having old coins on the market and saying that this is still have a 4-5x left in it is very, very tough. Like Hyperliquid, how many multiples does this do? It did a 10x off of launch, right? From $3 to 30. So what's the lesson here? It's just the new and shiny stuff that are giving you the multiples. So stay locked into new and shiny things. Almost caught up with chat, and then I'll talk about Bitcoin and stuff. What's up? What's up, Redact? You still holding FARTCOIN? Yeah, I am, but I've sold some. I've sold a lot, actually. I'm keeping a moon bag, but I don't. Here's my personal thing. I have a lot of friends who I like dearly respect, not only as people but as traders, right? That are hyper bullish on this, and I see their point. I see the thesis. I see it. I just don't have the same conviction they do on kind of FARTCOIN top 10 meme coin or whatever, top 10 by market cap, top 20, right? As you guys know, the meme that I think has the capability of doing that is PEPE. I understand the FARTCOIN thesis, which is why I COPE top blasted at 10 cents, right? I missed a whole like banger of a rally, and I just top blasted at 10 cents somewhere in here, wherever it is, 9-10 cents, and closed out a bunch on like pretty much a 10x, like in this location right around like 90 cents 4-hour trend loss is where I closed out a bunch. I bought a little bit of it back. I've traded a little bit of that. But I'm comfortable with where my risk is, right? I've taken enough profits from this coin to where I don't have to make emotional decisions. It's basically, I'll just close it when I feel like closing it at this point. For now, it's still showing extreme strength. Like over the weekend, with the entire market getting absolutely bodied, you saw the bid come into FARTCOIN. So to me, those are really bullish things, right? The bid didn't come into PEPE. PEPE got absolutely decimated over the weekend. But FARTCOIN did. FARTCOIN didn't, and FARTCOIN made new all-time highs. So why would I want to, full stack, close this position and predict that a top is in? I do better on reacting, right? I didn't sell the Pico top of this. I sold on 4-hour trend loss, right? So I did give some money back to the market, but I still capitalized on a 10x return. On these first sells. So like that's another just factor of reacting to the market versus trying to predict. So I don't know if the top is in on FARTCOIN. I'd rather just react later on and give some back to the market. If the stream is on X, I'm just gonna read this quietly. Okay, yeah, but that's okay. So he's streaming it on Twitter, huh? He's not streaming it on YouTube. I appreciate that, Livid. Yeah, I think that's a wild statement. I'm assuming that guy's just trolling. I don't think that someone is actually gambling their grandma's retirement money, but it's just wild reading that. Okay, so let's do some Bitcoin thoughts before we move on. I'm happy that I caught up with chat. It seems like I needed to restart my computer before streaming because it's a little slow. I could tell that's not the internet. So my basis for Bitcoin pretty much since the last stream was if we, you guys know that I've taught this in public streaming a bunch. I use simple if-then game plans with trend trading, right? So what were we doing this entire markup from the election was hold 4-hour trend. If we get correction into the daily, bet at the daily, right? And I bet at each one of these dailies, whether they were on altcoins or Bitcoin itself, right? These were banger, like I just expecting gap fills, banger recovery. Once again, when we were in this location, I wanted, because of, this kind of whipsaw, I wanted Bitcoin to stay above these highs. I didn't want it to drop back and lose the 4-hour trend. I was thinking that this is absolutely geared after weeks and weeks and weeks of ranging to put in another move, right? I didn't want to see this kind of start to range. So this is where I was very bullishly optimistic. Obviously, when we started crabbing, giving a full retest of the range, what do I expect? Breakdown in the daily trends, right? If we start losing the daily trends, which we immediately started doing, what do I expect? The weekly trend. So my bias from literally like at the end of December, a couple days into December, is that we can repeat what we did in April of last year, which was altcoins bottom first because they get decimated early, and then Bitcoin can make a drive lower, right? So I was using this as my framework as, daily trend loss, gap fill to weekly, Bitcoin front runs, and then Bitcoin tags later on. The coins that got decimated, I think Pepe went down 50% in a couple days, right? Ethereum got destroyed. Solana got destroyed. So those are the coins that I bet on early on a spot basis and kind of did nothing, right? So as we started ranging, just kind of did nothing. Down here, I really wanted to perp long this. I set some crazy sized bids, and I'm not going to lie, I'm coping about not getting filled. I know Magus absolutely crushed this trade. I got sidelined on the perps here. But nonetheless, like this was the moment where if we're going to bottom, this is the location to do it in. Run everyone's stops after chopping everyone to pieces. New year, a couple weeks into the year, TradFi's back at their desks. We've traded close enough to the weekly trend to have that reversal, and that's pretty much what we've gotten. So I'm still in those positions from here. Bitcoin, the way that we're looking at it right now is, if this can expand, and it doesn't look like it wants to, if I'm being brutally honest, this doesn't look like it wants to expand. This looks like it probably wants to drop back on the range. If we start trading and accepting below like 104, my base case, my mental model is just chop for longer. And I know that sucks and people don't want to hear it, but literally we can do this another fucking month. This is a place where we're having a uncertain event into an uptrend with expectations high, right? So the expectations are Trump launches, whatever, the strategic Bitcoin reserve. He's going to drop some executive orders. We're at range high. People are looking for breakout trades. There's a lot of signs of froth in the market. The whole market is very fragmented right now as well, right? Certain coins getting bids, certain coins absolutely getting obliterated. It's a very kind of tough place to be max risk on. And throughout this past weekend, over the weekend right now, I've taken some chips off the table. Like, I've removed a lot of risk, selling a good amount, almost all of my spot Solana into that all-time high, like, price discovery push over the weekend. Closed grass, right? Which for a 4x, right? I've been holding on to that for a long time, but I just figured, with a break in structure, loss of listing anchored, I don't know what grass is going to do. And do I just want to hold this capital here? Maybe not, right? So that was an opportunity for me to build some stables after basically nailing it from down here, compounding once in the range and just holding on to this. So with Bitcoin at range highs right here, for me, it's just simple, right? We need an expansion. You need to push away from this range, right? Just crabbing at this range high, to me, doesn't scream that it's bullish. It screams to me like, yeah, I think Charlie tweeted it earlier today. It's like, it feels like desperation. It feels like people are desperate for Bitcoin to break out so that their altcoins will stop getting fucking destroyed. So I'm a little bit like skeptical, cautious. I'd rather the market prove me wrong. I'd rather it send God candles and then I'm behind and underexposed and, I have to risk on a little bit late. I'd rather be in that situation than give back a lot of the gains that I've made over the past 3 months, right? With the event that Bitcoin trades back down to range low. So because I'm uncertain, I'm not taking any type of aggressive approach into like longing a breakout, predicting a breakout. I'd rather the market do it and then I'll defend it, right? So something I used to say on Twitter all the time is you break, I defend. This is kind of the same situation of it's building a consolidation here. You break out, give me a shallow pullback. I'll help you. I'll play trend continuation, right? I'll risk onto the market when you show me that you're ready to break out. And if I miss some of the moves, that's something that I'm thinking in my own mind. That's a calculated risk that I'm taking. I'm okay and I'm willing to accept that I'm missing 10% moves and that may end up being 15% move on some altcoins. But that's the positioning and mindset that I'm in right now. Do you think any alts will reach top 2 generally in the market, passing ETH? For example, Solana or XRP? That's a tough call, dude. Here's the thing. I think, and I again apologize for my computer being slow. I can try, maybe it's a TradingView app. Either way, I think that if and when ETH breaks over 4K, this final boss level, which by the way, the very last stream that I talked about, I was, warning people like this is the final boss right here. This is resistance. Anyways, if and when we break over 4K, I think ETH is going to put in some godly moves. Like I think this will expand into 6K, 7K. So if ETH is able to do this, other coins like Solana and XRP are going to have a very tough time flipping it. If ETH just consistently underperforms, yeah, obviously those coins can push for ETH. But because ETH's market cap is so large, right, a 50% move on ETH, a 60% move on ETH makes it virtually impossible for other coins to flip it. So that's just where I'm going to leave it, right? That's the way that I think about it. I think it's better to think about it that way of like, will ETH grant me this opportunity by consistently underperforming, which it could. It's not a great performer. So guys, if you guys are watching Trump, tell me what's going on with the Trump speech. What's he saying? What's he talking about? Seeing Trump coin and shit, many known CT people are reconsidering how long we have left in the cycle. It looks like people think March is going to be the end. What would you say if you had to guess? Here's what I'm going to say, and you guys aren't going to like what I have to say. I think too many people are thinking they're just getting a free risk-on ride into March. And the more cruel thing for the market to do right now is just top right now. Like put in a significant local top right now and then range for another month or 2 months until we get bullish developments when it comes to SBR and stuff like that. More clarity, removal of uncertainty, new narrative to rally behind, new risk-on narrative. So I think the most consensus take that I've heard since fucking November of last year, I've been hearing the same take since November of last year, which is Q1 top, Q2, Q3 range, and Q4 top. I've heard that from 1,000 people. My take from summer of last year was that we'll be risk on Q4 and Q1, and we'll top, probably cycle top in Q1. That was the take that I'm saying. So if Bitcoin pushes out of this 100K range, wherever it pushes to, I believe is going to be the cycle top. That's my take, right? So if we can get out of this, right, and push one leg higher, wherever that ends up being, 130, 140, 150, 160, that's the cycle top, in my opinion. If we stop, right, and right here, and we just range for longer, for like 6 to 8 months again, who knows? Maybe we could just keep doing this nonsense. It's very hard to say. Like I said earlier in the stream, guys, I don't make my money predicting. I don't like predicting. I think it's fun to have predictions, but I don't think that's a profitable approach, is to just keep predicting. What do you think is going to happen? Could this happen? Those aren't actionable ideas. Why do you not prefer to hedge grass? I just wanted my money. It's as simple as that for me. I feel like I made a really good trade. I feel like I did as well as I could. And now it looks like, to me, grass looks like it had every opportunity over the past 3 months to do something special. I gave it every opportunity, right? I risked on at the bottom. I sold into this rally. I re-risked on right here. And then I closed the majority right here. Like it's not, 2% profits or something like that up at these highs. But I feel like I generally did okay. I could have done infinitely better if I, had a more trader mindset and not a fundamental mindset where I'm thinking this could fundamentally reprice. If I had a trader mindset of, let me just trade this asset as a trade, I would have done a little bit better in this range. But the kind of investor mindset of this can go a lot higher, but it doesn't seem like the market agrees with me yet. So we'll see what happens. If grass is going to bottom right here at 180, if it's going to be able to break market structure, maybe I'll just risk back on. But I don't like hedging. I don't hedge. I don't take shorts against my longs and create delta neutral exposure and manage both sides and think. I don't do that. I buy when I feel like there's opportunity on the table, and I sell when I feel like that opportunity window is closed. That's I think as simply as that. GCR tweeted. Okay, I'm actually going to pull this up. I'm always interested in that. Okay, I don't see it. He yapped everything but Bitcoin, so I'm seeing Ritesh's tweet right now. So crypto didn't get mentioned in the speech. Honestly, I think that's bullish. I'd rather him not talk about crypto at this point. Like put out a press release about SBR in a week. Even if you took some chips off the table at range highs, if we trend, you'll make much more in the trending environment anyways. I absolutely do. I absolutely do, man. The overwhelming majority of my money gets made from these trending moves, right? I honestly, I take big risks on like the big first corrections, right? So if we have big markups and then we have massive 20% corrections, I take risk there, right? So I took risk here, I took risk here, and then I took risk on these nukes, right? Which wasn't exactly 20%, but the altcoins got hammered so hard that I had to make that move. And then I look for accumulation ranges and sell into the godly pumps, right? That's where the overwhelming majority of my gains are made this cycle, is playing these high time frame, big trending moves. So, I'm not overly concerned with this stuff, right? I feel like if Bitcoin is going to break out, there's so many opportunities in altcoins. Like altcoins are down so bad that there's so much opportunity there. And I feel like I can extract a lot of opportunity if it's there, even by being late. Do you care about the patriotic coin narrative at all? No, I don't know what that is. He didn't mention a single word related to crypto. We cooked. I had a different take, but maybe we're cooked. I don't know. That's the thing. So Zach is saying that. That's my take with this event, right? Is it's just uncertainty. I don't think there's an easy like ABC thing that you could say here. With the ETF last year, I think it was so simple. It was so simple as long into the ETF going live, sell the news at the ETF. With the inauguration, with the Trump meme coins, with the strategic reserve, with all of this, it's very uncertain for a lot of people, which is why people like myself just go, I'd rather just take chips off the table and let the market become easy and let a narrative build, and then I'll just rally around that, right? Like why do I have to maintain max exposure to a market that I'm uncertain in? GCR actually tweeted. I didn't see that. GCR basically said at these stages he's taking risk off the table. Yeah, there you go. Let me check again. We'll see the tweets. I'm surprised no one on my timeline is like, retweeting the GCR tweet 100 times. Oh, there we go. It's been 750 days since okay, here, let's put it on here. You should be less greedy, not more greedy, as the tweet states. Yeah. I mean, that's basically what we're doing. This market to me, I don't know if it's cooked, but certainly, the uncertainty is a lot right now. That's really what I want to say. The uncertainty is a lot. Thanks, Livid. Yes, I found it on Twitter. But yeah, hopefully things get better, but yeah, it's hard. It's hard right now because I feel like the market is lacking a strict narrative to rally behind. That's what I wanted to talk about this cycle. I mean, in this stream too, is the dispersion, right? So dispersion in crypto is basically this was developed in the bear market basically. So when I came into crypto and started trading full time in a bear market, because not everything is going up, the only way to trade the long side of a coin is if that coin has a narrative, right? If there's something bullish to rally behind a coin, right? And back in these times, there was stuff like we had a DYDX narrative, right? And the reason for that is like, okay, we can't trust centralized exchanges anymore. We can't trust Gemini. We can't trust BlockFi. We can't trust FTX. Let's go trade the DEX coins. Okay, GMX is a DEX coin. Let's go trade GMX, right? the World Cup, it was so silly. It was like the World Cup is going on. Let's go trade Chili's because there's a World Cup narrative. Okay, the ETH merge is happening. Let's go trade ETH and ETH related coins during the ETH merge, right? So this kind of meta that we've been experiencing this cycle got established in 2022, and we just carried this meta in of whatever the narrative is, we trade those coins. And Bitcoin has done the exact same thing. All of these markups have been kind of narrative led, right? So this big one right here, off of these lows, the narrative was central banks are bad, even banks are bad, or banks are bad. Silver Valley Bank went underwater, something like that. We can't even trust stable coins. Bitcoin is real money, right? Bitcoin marked up. That was a big narrative, big rally. This was a massive Bitcoin move, right? What broke us out of this range? It was ETFs are coming. Boomers are coming to buy your bags, right? And you know, this was the speculation, and this was actually flows. And we're like, holy shit, they actually are buying the bags. Let's fucking go. And what was the next one was, hey, Trump might be president, right? That speculation actually like started really picking up like in this region. And we were uncertain. Is Trump actually going to win? And we thought it was 50-50, and he dominated. And everyone's like, holy fuck, that's so bullish for crypto. And now where we are in the market today, at this moment, we're just going, okay, what's the next narrative to get us to go higher? That's the tough issue right now, right? And it doesn't mean that this market has to go to zero. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin has to go to zero. It just means that like we could end up, unfortunately, doing this longer until the market decides to rally behind a narrative. And if it becomes the strategic reserve and Trump goes, look, we're not going to sell the, what do you call it? What are the Silk Road coins? Like those aren't coming in the circulation. I'm going to prevent that from happening. That's bullish, right? That's like, okay, less supply coming onto the market. If he says we're going to start buying Bitcoin for the strategic reserve, that's bullish. That's going to create a narrative. That's what gets us to break out of the range. So I think that's just what's going on right now. Those are my honest thoughts. Okay, Trump has finished talking now and no mention of crypto whatsoever. Problem is these narratives change so often. No, yeah, they change very often. And they change day to day. Dude, we got over this weekend, we got a narrative shift in ETH like 40 times. We got Trump has abandoned ETH and gone to Solana, negative ETH. Oh, wait a minute. Trump just bought $10 million of ETH, bullish ETH. And then it's just madness, right? So like they change intraday. We are absolute dispersion maxing, speculation maxing. Like it's kind of madness. Narratives change, but they provide the fuel necessary for everyone to lift price up. Absolutely. So you don't think anymore that grass flips render? I think my thesis on grass was that it is being drastically undervalued by the market for the fundamentals presented in the coin. Now, that's the speculation and that's the thesis. And that's the thesis that I ran with from day one, from before the token generation event. And I wanted to give ample time for the market to agree with me, right? Rotations in and out of coins, this and that. You know, AI was in the spotlight. This is an AI coin because it's AI data collection for LLMs and stuff. But the market just seems to disagree with me, right? And that's the reason you need to have invalidations for ideas. Is if like, look, I gave the market ample time, ample time to agree with me. But once we're losing the structure that we've built, I don't want to hold this coin back down to my entry. Right? If that's what it's going to happen, right? I don't want to do that. I don't want to give the money back to the market. So yeah, I closed it. I took my took my profits and I closed it. And you know, we'll see if I get back into the coin. We'll see what happens. But for now, I'd rather just be sidelined on grass. Hey Doc, I want to ask, can you describe this cycle as a hard one? I'm new and this is my first cycle. So people that traded multiple cycles, I'm also kind of like I don't know if you'd call, I'm pretty much a first cycler too, right? Like I was around last cycle, but I was just like a tourist. I wasn't doing this full time. I was still doing medicine. I I wasn't all in. I didn't put a lot of risk into crypto. I just bought spot Bitcoin, spot Ethereum, right? So I was like, didn't know shit about crypto. So this is basically my first cycle too. That's how I look at it. But from everyone that I've talked to, yes, this is undoubtedly the hardest cycle, the shittiest cycle. The least millionaires were made this cycle probably is much harder, is much more PvP. You have to be much more selective with the coins that you buy. You have to be on point with taking profits. You're not going to get a free ride, right? I think we've only had, 3 bouts of a kind of generalized altcoin season. One, I can point to these 3 on a chart specifically. The easiest time it was to make money, the absolute easiest time it was to make money, these 3, or the past 3 years, was 1, off of this 2023 yearly open. Every altcoin ripped so hard because they were all down so bad. They were all down fucking 90%, and they'd been crabbing. And when this thing happened, these altcoins pumped 2, 3, 4x. Like they went nutty. Even though they were down 99%, they still pumped off the lows extremely hard. The next one was right here, right? When we had our ETFs, right? Altcoins did massive moves, right? This second leg wasn't generalized. This was more dispersion. This is AI coins and meme coins. And we had one more in here, right? We had a generalized kind of altcoin pump where everything got kind of a pump. So we had 3 moments this entire cycle, 1, 2, and 3, where you had the opportunity to be long, basically just be long the market, have exposure to the market, and you'll make money. The rest of these 2-3 years, you have had to be on point, be selective, play rotations, have exposure to the right assets, make sure you're risking on at the right time, make sure you're risking off at the right time. Why is Pepe getting killed, though? I think because everything is getting killed. That's the simplest answer. It's like a lot of stuff is getting murdered. Also, it's a meme coin, right? Also, it's like here's the Pepe chart, right? It's nothing new, right? It's nothing new is what I'm really trying to point out here. I don't like that we're now holding below prior all-time highs. I would really like Pepe to reclaim 17.3. That would be much more bullish. If you want to be super risk on Pepe, this is the place to buy. This is the place to invalidate yourself on weekly trend loss. If you want to do nothing, you want to reclaim prior all-time highs. Simple if-then plans on everything, right? Don't need to worry about outsmarting the market. Just make a simple system. And that's pretty much it. Let's scroll up a little bit. Doc, the technicals look good, but the mania looks to be at peak to me. What do you think? Yeah, I agree with that. I think this weekend, so the Trump coin launching, I said this in Paragon chat, I was talking to all the Paragon students about this, is quite possibly the most top signalish thing I've ever seen since joining crypto is the president of the United fucking States launching a meme coin. I don't understand how to justify. Yeah, it was tough, right? Like that's thinking of the president of the United States launching a meme coin. I'm like, how do I spin this into something bullish that isn't just a top signal? Right? And the leading thing was maybe it'll onboard people, and it did, 500,000 new wallets over the weekend. And maybe that liquidity will disperse around the market and help pump the generalized market. Maybe we've just gotten liquidity injection inflows into the market. But I don't know if people are going to do that. I think maybe they just want to buy the Trump coin and take profits, right? They remember what Dogecoin was like. So there's give and takes to that. And then when the Melania thing dropped, to me, that was a moment where I just market slammed. Like I sold a bunch of stuff on that tweet. I could not sell faster. I closed my perps out. I was long coins. Literally, what the nuke button that's on Insilico terminal for any of you guys that are on Insilico, just hit the nuke all button at that moment. Nuke all orders, nuke all positions. Like I don't want any fucking part of this Melania shit. And close some spot positions as well, right? I had some lower conviction spot positions that were either break even or up. Like I said, like grass was up 4x, and closed grass, market slammed closed grass at that moment. So that was a moment for me where I was like, I really need a couple days to assess what I think about the market. Is this bullish? Is this bearish? But I just think it's super frothy. I don't think this is rational behavior for like early risk cycle. It seems like irrational behavior for late risk cycle. So I think a lot of people are spooked by that. And I think the smartest thing is just wait for the dust to settle, right? You don't really need to predict anything, right? You could just see what the market does, wait for things to calm down, and then react. And if you're wrong and things pump, make sure you have a game plan for how you're going to get back into the market. And if things dump, make sure you have a plan for what you're going to do in that situation, right? So that's really it. That's really it. And I think having too much exposure to the market makes it really hard for people to think clearly, right? So for me, I know that's very true for me. I've learned that about myself, is that if I'm overexposed to the market, it creates a bias, and it prevents me from thinking very clearly. So removing some risk for the market until I feel very comfortable. Once I feel comfortable with the exposure that I have to the market, now I'm not thinking emotionally. Now I'm thinking rationally. Now I can make rational game plans of, if this happens, I do this. If that happens, I do that. And that leads me to making better game plans, managing my risk and making better game plans. I kind of like that this cycle didn't give us free rides. I mean, here's another thing, Livid, is that the market participant, the average participant, is just going to get smarter, right? Everyone's just going to get smarter and smarter and smarter and smarter. So, the game is going to get harder, right? In the beginning days, like if you think about basketball 100 years ago, put that person against LeBron James today and see how they stack up, right? As the longer the game is around, the harder it's going to get. What do you think about the GCR tweet? Yeah, I covered that earlier. What's your hit rate and average RR per trade? I don't trade like that. I don't trade with like my win-loss record is actually negative, but my P&L goes like this. Why does that happen? Because I'll take multiple entries in a position and know where I'm incorrect rapidly. So what people will classically do is they'll do this. They'll put in an RR tool and they go like this. They go like, I'm going to take this trade. Price is going to come here. I'm going to enter. This is my stop loss. Okay, I got stopped. Okay, this is my take profit. I took profit, right? I don't trade like this. This is, I think, a very like rookie way to trade. As I enter a trade, I ask myself, where am I incorrect? Where am I incorrect, right? And as the trade is going on, I'm also adjusting those ideas of where am I incorrect. And a lot of times, I'll just not see the reaction I want, right? And I'll just go like this, and I'll be like, I'm just going to cut this position, right? I'm just going to cut this right here. Break even, minor loss, minor scratch. And I'll do this a couple times, and then I'll get the exact setup I want, and then I'll nail that. So my win-loss, I think, because I don't look at, what do you call it? The trading journal software. I don't find any value in them. But I think it's like at 50 or like 48 or something like that. So it's not even positive. But my P&L looks like this, which, Paragon just tweeted. So you can look at, the Paragon Twitter account. You can see my P&L curve for 2024. Maybe I can pull up a chart here. I wasn't actually going to... So I wasn't going to tweet this because I don't give a fuck anymore. Like, I've proven over 3 years... I've proven my skill set publicly over 3 years. And now to me, it doesn't even feel like... What do you call it? Here's how I'm going to say it. You guys know when you're like a kid and your mom puts like... stickers up on the fridge or like whatever, your report card, and she's so proud of you and you're a little kid and you're like, oh, I'm so, I'm so smart and so good. Mommy loves me. The older you get, the more cringe that shit is. And you're just like, get this shit off the fucking fridge, dude. What are you doing? Right. So like, here's my 2024 returns. So like, win-loss is a dumb metric. I think RR of like entries is also a dumb metric. I don't think you should trade like that. Anyways, moving on. Is Solana at the bottom of the 4-hour trend right now a decent long for you, or does Bitcoin being below 100? Yeah. So the way that I see this, let's look at Bitcoin. I'm kind of distracted by chat right now. Let's actually see what's going on. So the way that this stands, we've got a event, which is the inauguration, which is a known event, which people don't know if it's bullish or bearish, happening. And the event caused us to SFP all-time highs, above range highs, and reject range highs for 4 days in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row, SFP at the highs. As it stands, if we close like this is pretty bearish, right? This is just a bearish looking chart. This doesn't look bullish to me. Daily trends being flat do not provide many contextual clues for me. It's not going to, it's like, look at down here, right? Anytime the daily trend's flat, yeah, I can provide some kind of context, but more or less, like, it's not your end all be all. You want them to be uptrending. You want it to be pushing upwards like this. So there's a possibility, right? If we hang around this range high, maybe we can use the contextual clues of the daily trend to pump out of this in a trending manner. But now let's look at lower time frames. So yeah, Wix being bought up. Let's see if OI got rinsed. Hopefully it did. Yeah, decent amount. Decent amount. So what I would like to see from this moment, with this OI being rinsed across the market, is spot to pick up. I'd like this to round off. I'd like people to not crazy long. Maybe we get some bottom shorts today of people going, yeah, it is completely fucking over. That would be really bullish for me to think that, if people are shorting right into here, like the 2 standard deviation value area low. Let me make this white. If people are shorting into here and we get a little bit of a spot absorption or a spot bid, we get some layered bids in this region. To me, that looks pretty good for reversal, right? So it's just going to be a case by case. Like, what am I going to do, right? You may be thinking, okay, Doc, what are you going to do in this moment? I am just going to trade. If I want to trade, I'm trading intraday. I'm not trading swings. I'm not trading 4-hour charts. I'm not trading trends. I am going to be trading intraday mean reversion. That's it. If we get a Bitcoin move like this, go black to black, and push outside of this value, then I will be looking for Bitcoin's 4-hour trend to continue hold. And in this moment, I'm trading alts, and I'm trading alt continuation, and I'm getting exposure back to the market. I'm putting stables back into the market. This is what I want to see. Like, we've hung around this long enough. I want to see expansion away from this value. I want to see expansion away from this value. That's going to get me really bullish. Until that happens, I'm just trading intraday. Maybe Bitcoin sweeping a daily trend. Yeah, if we get really hammered. So here's another thing. Let's open this up a little bit bigger. If we can somehow reset open interest, like total global open interest, back to the lows, but keep, prices higher, I think that would look pretty bullish. Right? So if this open interest can just keep rinsing all the way down and we can maintain these values, that is not a bad, and we don't have like people dumping spot on us, that's pretty bullish too. Right? And that would coincide with exactly what you're saying, a sweep of yesterday's low into the daily trend. And if you're taking that trigger, you have such a clean setup and tight invalidation, because you're taking, you're taking basically a puke low. I don't know what this is going to be, a 10% down move Bitcoin pretty much intraday into a point of interest, sweeping liquidity and nuking open interest. So I think you're in a good spot if and when that occurs to take that speculative bet that this is the bottom and we can get trend continuation. So what have I done in this stream with you guys for the last hour is just kind of get you guys to focus on if-then plans. Like, I'm doing this with you guys, right? The trade that WaveX just brought up is a sweep in the sweep in a daily trend. And then we've clearly defined how that could look, right? So this is what this would look like. We would see run this low, get back inside, leave an SFP there. Down here, we're hoping this open interest rinses a little bit more. That would look really fucking healthy to me. That would be a great setup. Another thing is if we could just continue holding this 4-hour trend. That would look pretty good too. And hold above 104, 105K. I think that would look pretty solid as well. And then we could just we could just knock all of this off and say, okay, that was just inauguration shenanigans, meme coin shenanigans, Trump Melania shenanigans, and it's fucking over. Like, who cares, right? That was a big shakeout that got people to be uncertain, that got people to sell their spot, that got people to de-risk, and now they're sidelined, and now they're underexposed, and that money has to go back onto the market, right? Like I've told you guys, I've taken some stables. That money's got to go back on the market if I want that exposure. It's either going to go to the bank or it's going to go back into coins, right? So one way or another. So what was your actual question? We sidetracked. Is Solana at the bottom of the 4-hour trend a decent long for you? So let's look at Solana now. I took a trade on Solana yesterday. I haven't taken a trade on Solana today. The trade that I took on Solana was very simple. 4-hour sweep into the 4-hour trend, right? I got this closed last night. I took this long, set limits, went to sleep, woke up with limits filled. Just took it at all-time high. So from here, I'm not trading Solana until we get back above this prior all-time high, right? I don't care about trading this 4-hour trend. I want to see trade above 270, right? Give me this market structure break. I don't want to be trading into this kind of like downtrend right here. Get back above 270. Give me a pullback. I'll take this long if given to price discovery. That's the leg that I'd rather take the trade on. I think what you're looking at is not a bad idea either. But then it just comes down to, are you willing to trade in this uncertainty? Do you want to trade on a day like today? You know, are you paying attention to what Bitcoin is doing? Yada, 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 yada. Oh, and real quick, before we continue, want to do a quick shout out to the stream sponsor today, which is Blofin. We appreciate Blofin for sponsoring the stream. Makes it possible for me to stream, and also provides me allows me to give you guys the opportunity to make free money. That's what I really like doing, is like anytime I get a stream sponsor, I'm like, well, what's in it for people watching, right? Do they just want to see me shill shit? Probably not. Like I like bringing you guys opportunity to make free money, right? So they're advertising this as the iPhone 16, but they're not actually going to like ask for your mailing address and give you an iPhone 16. They're just going to give you $1,500. But and another thing that I'm going to tell you guys here before I continue, not that many people sign up when I do these promotions. Like, it's like 20 people, right? Your odds of actually winning $1,500 are pretty fucking high, right? It's not like you're competing with like 5,000 people and you're like, I'm never going to win. Your odds are pretty high, and they're giving away 2 away, right? So it's not even 1. So your odds are even higher. But yeah, details on your screen here of how to do this. And the link is in the description box below. So if you could do me a favor, if you want to, check out Blofin, sign up. And maybe you get $1,500 for fucking free. But it's only this week, so it started today on the 20th, and you got 5 days. So guys, if you're watching the stream on repeat tomorrow, just recognize you have like a couple more days. Anyways, thank you, Blofin. Appreciate the love. What's the terminal I mentioned? In Silico terminal. Very good advice. A lot of beginners trade with size that they can't execute without being emotional. Yeah, live it. And you know what I'll say, and I'm going to branch off to this. Actually, I'm going to talk about this a lot in Paragon in the yearly review and stuff like that. I want to teach some lessons on this. Is that there's also a mental recalibration period when your capital goes up. So if you're starting with like $100 and now all of a sudden you're trading 10 grand, relative to your own personal financial situation in real life, 10 grand might be an overwhelming amount of money, right? Where you've like, I've never seen this much money before. And it may be harder for you to make decisions because the volatility of trades is so crazy that you have to give yourself a period of time till you're comfortable with trading this amount of money. And those P&L swings don't feel that crazy because you're like, man, I'm just used to trading $10. All of a sudden now my P&L is fluctuating by more than my net worth was a year ago, right? And if you grow up again, right, there's also a recalibration period. This is how it is for me. And in hindsight, I'm very, very, very thankful that, you know, I kept exposure to the market from a spot basis. Like, you know, you guys know that I bought this Solana puke all the way back in April. And I kept this spot, majority of it, not 100% of it, but majority of it, I kept through this volatility. So I did see my portfolio going up and down a lot of money every other month. And this helped me mentally get used to those numbers. So then when I started trading bigger sizes, it's not as scary to me. And I think that's something people don't think about. And it's probably why people give up a lot of money as soon as they make it, is because, you know, you're not thinking as clearly, right? You're not used to trading that much size. You're not used to pushing that much size, and it can get a little scary. Last time you told me about XLM, I not closed it and $900 gone. XLM, was that a previous tweet or a previous stream? I kind of remember this. Didn't you spam it in chat like 9 times about XLM? I mean, all things considered, it doesn't look as terrible as other coins do. Have you trimmed your spot, PEPE? Yeah, on the Coinbase, Upbit, and Robinhood listing day, I sold PEPE, and then I bought it back at the daily trend, and then I sold the next pump, and then I bought it back again at 15. So I've traded my PEPE stack. So like my PEPE stack is fluid, right? It's a big part of my net worth. It's a big part of my total crypto portfolio, but I trade around it too. I have like a trading PEPE stack, and then I have like a hold PEPE stack that's like, you know, long-term capital gains. But I sold this pump. I bought it back at the daily, confluence of prior all-time highs, daily trend. This thing started, you know, crabbing and kind of breaking down. This was the reason I sold here is because literally I was getting ready to move, and I was like, I need to cover some taxes. I need to make sure that I have enough money for next year. I'm going to sell a fuck ton of PEPE, and I actually sold a fuck ton of Solana. I sold 80% of my Solana right here on this rejection. And at the same time, I sold a bunch of PEPE. And I didn't expect the market to nuke the next day. It was kind of more luck than anything, right? It was a little bit of luck. And this was the zone that I've been looking at buying for a long time. This was the previous all-time high point of breakdown. I actually thought that this was going to get retested a long time ago. Like, I didn't expect it to take this long to retest this. It was a point of interest that I was really looking at. And even on the way up, like, you guys can see the respect that price action had for this region, right? Rejection, and then just fucking God candle, right? So retesting this level right here was super important for me. And that's where I bought back a lot of the PEPE. I think, you know, synonymous with this kind of like a, you know, previous all-time high point of breakdown, this is kind of synonymous, is that same level. I have it highlighted once again. So if and when PEPE gets above 23, I don't think, you know, it's stopping. I think it's going to do like a 2x pump. Like, it'll go from 23 to 43 or something, if we can get that. There was a lot of tax selling though, right? So like my total capital in crypto now is lower than it was a month ago. A lot went to the bank. A lot went to, you know, be put aside for taxes. You trade spot on InSilico? No, only perps. Doc, when are you making those? Yeah, I'll make them. I just like yesterday my car came. So yesterday my car got delivered to Florida. So I just set up my desk right this second. I just put up the monitors this morning. I just put up my mic and everything. So yeah, give me a few days. The first most important thing is I have to do my yearly review video. That's coming first. What's your game plan for the rest of this cycle? Honestly, I want to nail two things, right? One of the trades that I want to nail is ETH price discovery, which, you know, I know it's even cringe to say, like, fuck ETH. I get it, dude. I get it more than you guys get it. Trust me. And but jokes aside, like, I don't see how breaking out of 4 years of rejection at 4K, if this happens, I want to nail this trade. Like, I want to size the fuck into this trade, and I want to nail this trade. So that's a high conviction trade for me if I'm given this. Which is also why I'm kind of positioned into ETH down here, right? So I'm either trying to buy the weekly trend with weekly demand, and, you know, or this breaker, right? This was the plan all the way back in December. The other trade is hold on to my PEPE until it flips SHIB, right? So those are the main core positions. Let's see how this is looking. This is the flippening, right? So, you know, PEPE can underperform SHIB for a little bit longer. It could probably come down to the weekly. Who knows what it's going to do? But, you know, capitalizing on this trade, right, is something I want to nail too. And then for the rest of the cycle, I want to trade a little bit more. Again, I keep talking about the yearly review. Guys, I think it's important for me to do this so that everyone can kind of know where I'm coming from, where I'm going, what my plans are, what my goals are, what I've improved on, what I fucked up. So we could all be kind of on the same page, and I don't have to repeat myself. But one thing I want to improve on in 2025 is continue to pursue my intraday trading, because it's going well for me. And the only thing that is holding me back on intraday trading is sizing. I size a lot lower when I trade intraday versus when I trade swing, spot, anything, right? My total position sizing is a lot smaller because I just don't trust myself, right? For whatever fucking reason. And that is a major goal for me for the rest of the cycle. As long as there's volatility, I want to trade intraday with the same size that I trade 1 hour trends, the same size that I trade 4 hour trends, weekly, daily, right? So it's just a confidence thing. I'm sorry to hear that, Yarek. Are you eyeing hype? Dude, good question. Actually, we haven't talked about many coins today. Let's look at hype. So, the first time I ever used Hyperliquid was right here. Funny enough, this is where I put money onto Hyperliquid. I was like, okay, this is starting to look like a rounded bottom to me. We're getting a 4 hour squeeze. Let me start trading hype. So I traded hype for this leg right here on Hyperliquid itself. I don't know what the fuck is going on in the market the last 2 days, man. I'm not trading this. Like, on certain coins, I'm trading like Solana and stuff, but Jesus Christ, Lord help us. I'm not going to pick up spot Hyperliquid in, you know, that's just me. Because, you know, Wiz, I know you're in the clinic, and I know you're hyper bullish on Hyperliquid. I don't get it. I don't. And I think I'm mid-curving it. I just don't get Hyperliquid. Which is, you know, I think there's some part of that that's extreme cope, because I missed $1 million just by not trading on Hyperliquid, because I, you know, prefer to trade on other exchanges. But I don't get it. It's just, it's a fucking exchange. Like, it's an exchange. Great. But so what I mean is, I'm not going to pick up spot. I do want to trade this though, right? I want this market structure break. So I was looking for this one on this push up to take out this highs so we can break this structure. So where's the next high, right? If we can get above here, it wouldn't specifically be a market structure break because this is a higher low, but you'd be forming fresh bullish market structure, right? Low, high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, which would allow me to speculate on this higher low, range low, deviation, entry, take profit, take profit. If expansion, trend continuation. I do like the way this is shaping up. Do you like being out of Cali? It's only been a few days, but what I'll tell you is my favorite thing right now is that the market opens at 9:30 in the morning on the East Coast and not 6:30 in the morning. I've missed countless trades in my life because entries for my system come at 5 a.m. And I have a rule that I'm not allowed to trade if I'm not like awake. You know what I mean? Like I need to get up, have my coffee, get out of bed, like be awake. I don't want to have an alert go off in the middle of the night, see it on my phone, roll over and take a trade on my phone, you know? So having that is huge for me. Any market cap, flip SHIB at any market cap. Just be a higher market cap than SHIB. Good morning, Nick. I love that. In situations like Bitcoin sweep in a daily trend, the one we talked about a few minutes ago, are you going to limit scale? No, I'd be looking at low time frame. WaveX, I'd be looking at low time frame again. I would not be focused on high time frame and just, you know, blindly bidding the sweep. I'd be looking at low time frame. I'd be looking at if I'm correct, if I'm getting the right reaction there. I would probably take profits into the daily VWAP for a mean reversion trade, and then I'd look to play trend continuation. So I'd take it as a low time frame trade and then allow it to run as a high time frame trade. Do you use different trading strategies for intraday? Yep. Exactly. 100%. My low time frame system is different than my high time frame system. Yeah, you can fix your sleep schedule. Absolutely. All right. Caught up with chat again. Sick, man. But I miss streaming, to be honest, and which is good. I think this is gonna not trading, but kind of like life advice. I've dealt with burnout as a tennis player before. I've dealt with burnout, you know, studying in medicine before, or as an academic, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I've almost never dealt with burnout in trading. For 3 years, I loved this shit. Absolutely loved this shit. Like, nothing felt like work. Everything felt joyful. Everything felt like fun. The first time I ever felt burnout and like admitted it, like to myself that, dude, you're a little burnt out, was in October of last year. So the start of Q4, right? And that was the first time where it felt like a little bit of more of a chore to me, somewhere like in this region, right? And because the market ripped, obviously like my brain, dopamine, fucking fun, money, whatever, like that went in the back burner. But as soon as we lost right here, like this range high, I went back into that burnout mindset. And the best thing I could have done, and the best thing I did over these past few weeks, is really tune out stuff. So I've been on Twitter less. Yes, I still tweet, but I've been on Twitter less. I've been on Discord less. I've been online less. I've thought about trading less. I don't look at my phone as much. I'm not looking at charts as much. I'm still trading, but I tried to really get myself a mental reset. And another benefit is not streaming, right? So it's just like more and more little things where I just took time away. And I'm kind of feeling that itch back. So like a month off really, really like helped my mindset, made me hungry again, and got rid of a lot of that burnout. And I haven't really done this. Like when I went to Europe last year, I was still like fucking obsessed. Still looking at my phone, still looking for trades, still being locked in. Like I'm on vacation, bro. I should not be doing that. But yeah, lessons learned for the future. You know, when it's break time, actually disconnect and don't, you know. Yeah. How do you choose your invalidations for spot swing positions? So Raven, I have a full video on that in Paragon. I'm not gonna show that on the public streams. What is it like playing against Novak? Okay, so you asked two really good questions. I'm gonna do the Novak one first. What's it like playing against Novak? I have never been at that level, right? I was like on my way, I guess you could say, but I honestly would have never made it top 100. I mean, maybe if I stuck with tennis, I would have had like one top 100 appearance, but I was never gonna be anyone. Like you would have never heard of me, you know? I was not gonna be that good if I stuck with tennis. I would have been like a tour player, like 500 in the world or something like that. So I wouldn't know. But I can tell you it is meant, like he takes your soul, right? Just I can tell from being a tennis player and watching him play for 20 years. The guy fucking takes your soul. He's going to make you beat yourself, right? He's not going to beat himself, meaning like he's not going to give you the match. He's not going to hand it over. You're going to have to play at your highest level every point of the match, and you have to take it, right? What Novak does better than any other player that I've ever seen is he won't give it to you, right? Like, you have to hold that level. And a lot of players can play fantastic for one set, maybe even 2 sets, but they can't beat Novak in 3 out of 5 without playing their best tennis. Moving on from the tennis question that probably no one cares about. Do you think you hit burnout because you hit a goal that you've set? Yeah, I think that was the thing. I think once I got closer and closer and closer to the kind of cycle target goals, I was less willing to, number one, take risk. Number two, I was less willing to rotate and develop a fresh thesis and stuff like that. And number three, I was starting to be more protective, right? So I'm more worried about protecting what I have versus making more. And all of this led to a completely different mindset of before. And maybe some of that hunger went away too, because I wasn't really chasing anything, right? I was like more comfortable, and that's a new thing for me, and I have to give my brain enough time to understand what the fuck that means. And I don't want to be in that mindset, because that is really negative. That's just complacency, right? And complacency is how you die. That's how you fall off. That's how you become irrelevant. So I need enough time for my mind, body, and fucking soul to understand what that is, and overcome that, and to build new goals and set new goals and drive myself again. And I think this past month has actually helped a little bit in that regard. Will you continue trading in the bear market? Yeah, I will. I will, because what I'm going to do, my bear market goal is going to be to get better as a trader in certain aspects. I'm just going to have fun again, right? I'm going to go back to being a student and develop new strategies and test new things, and push myself to be better. But I'm not going to no life it. I'm probably going to take a few months off whenever I fucking feel like, and I'm going to come back and have strict hours. I'm going to treat it more like a job versus treating it as no life, right? The thing that I sacrificed to get where I am is I've sacrificed my mental health and my physical health drastically, right? One of my IRL friends is actually in chat right now, and he could probably attest to this. Like, he probably attest to like how I look pre-crypto and how I look today, right? Fucking long hair, fucking bleached it blonde, gained weight, like, haven't slept, wrinkles, gray hair. So I've sacrificed a lot for crypto, and I don't want to do that anymore. I want to make sure that my real life is thriving as well, because, I don't want to live online for the rest of my life. Do you think we'll get dips, pukes every week or two, like in November if we go out of the range, or is it Yes, I think so. I think it's going to be this game. So, I mean, you could just model it after any other range breakout, right? So it's the same thing. So this cycle has taught us a couple dynamics. The dynamics are we mark up, we establish new value over a long period of time, we wait for a narrative, and then we mark up again, right? So let's do it like this, right? This is our 7-month range. Develop value, new narrative, markup, corrections. These corrections weren't small. Altcoins were getting hammered. You guys probably don't remember. People called top on every one of these. Every single one of these people said top here, top here, top here. Why? Altcoins were getting obliterated. Altcoins were going down 30%. People got destroyed on perps. People were getting liquidated. Even before Bitcoin topped, this candle on January 3rd, actually it was even before that. It was like Christmas Day. This Christmas Day puke, you guys don't remember. This Christmas Day puke liquidated a fuck ton of people. Then January 3rd obliterated everyone. Obliterated. The sentiment was terrible, right? And then we started rolling over. So like during these, you're still going to get wrecked. It's just Bitcoin has to do less and less and less for people to get wrecked. Similarly, like people called top on every single one of these. They called top here, they called top here, they called top here, they called top here, they called top here. They're getting obliterated. Bitcoin only went down 15% and altcoin 13%, and altcoins were down 50 or 60. Later, bro. Later. Take care. Gray hair, dude. The right, it's funny how it's growing in. It's the right temple. My right temple is getting streaks. And it's not consistent. It's just hella different hairs. I'd say like 200, 300 hairs or something. I don't know how many it is, but a bunch of hairs are just gray now on the right side of my temple. How long did it take you to learn what? Okay, so I have a whole video on this CB2. Look at my channel. There's a video called Guide to I don't even know what the title is. It's like 16 tips for your journey of profitability. I talk about everything in there. What kind of lessons do you guys teach in Paragon? Everything. Magus has, I mean, altogether, all three of us have hundreds of hours of videos on education. And I'm going to start picking up my education again. I have like 16 or 17 videos that covers a lot of stuff. Magus probably has 100. Charlie, I don't know how many Charlie has. Probably way more than me too. But pretty much everything. Live streams, weekly outlooks, and everything like that. But pretty much anything and everything, man. What experience do you have in crypto? You say very interesting things. I don't know what that question is, bro. That's the extra wisdom showing in your hair, dude. That's the stress and sleep. I think, you know, I do a good job of being like cheery and happy, but like just like anyone else in crypto, like all you guys, every single one of you guys in chat feels immense stress in this game. It's not normal. It's not fucking normal to have a significant amount of your net worth in vaporware and just have insane volatility of like 30% moves up and down, right? It's not normal, right? That shit's stressful. It's very hard to stay calm, but you have to accept that, you know, if you want to be in this industry, you have to somehow tackle that, right? That's just part of the game. And it gets easier, it gets simpler, it gets easier to manage, it gets easier to handle, but it's there nonetheless. You have to get over it. You have to deal with it. Is it right that we should exit in March? I don't know. I think I'm just going to trade the chart. I'm going to trade what's in front of me. I'll know. I do a pretty good job at spotting tops in the time, even if I don't know that it's a top. Even if I don't know at the time that the top is in, I do a pretty good job at de-risking at the right time. So I'm just betting on myself to do a decent job again. I don't have to be perfect. I just have to be decent. Thoughts on Doge? I haven't looked at Doge in a long time. I mean, it's as clean as it can be. It's as clean as it can be. This is the range that I marked out a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that. This is what helped me sell the top on Doge. So I didn't get any exposure to Dogecoin this rally, but I had exposure to Dogecoin in Q1 of last year. And using this range helped me sell the top on this Doge rally. And you know, it's kind of interesting that this was the top on this rally too. I think you're going to be hyper bullish, you know, in two places: above 45 or down at the weekly trends. These are the two places where I would do business on Doge as a swing trader. So where it is right now, that's your support. If you get a wick or something like this to take out this low into the weekly trend, I think this is a good place to risk on for Doge. I think where it is right now is tough for me to define an invalidation on any. Oh, well, there you go. There's the daily trend. Okay, we can start getting a little bit more objective about Doge. Usually I don't share this much stuff on the public streams, but since I haven't streamed in so long, I still probably wouldn't trade this. Let's see. Okay. 20% down. It's been crabbing down for how many days? 3 days. That's not that long. No, Yeah, 3 days. Okay, that's not that long. I do think this is a decent location for this to bottom. So what I'm looking at here is kind of momentum loss of we're driving into the kind of same level a bunch of times, but we're not breaking down. Right? So we're driving down, we're getting decent reactions. All we need is a market structure break. So all of these are lower highs. What you would need to see is maybe another weaker push, right? And then a break in structure, right? Take out the high here, and then maybe you look to position here if it's given. Something like this on Dogecoin. Worst day since joining crypto. Today is your worst day? The market's not even that bad today, brother. I really hope you're not like all in the trenches, because that's tough, man. I'm sorry to hear that. This week was peak clown show. Dude, I agree with that. I have never experienced the absolute flip-flop range of emotions that I have experienced over this weekend ever. This weekend was the craziest shit I've ever seen. Between Trump launching a coin, Solana going to new all-time highs, Ethereum going down, then Trump buying ETH, then Solana instantly nuking, ETH instantly pumping, and then Melania launching a coin. All of our coins went to zero because of the liquidity suck on Trump. And then we recovered. We took a full 24 hours. We recovered all of those losses. And then Melania launches a coin and then just nukes everything again. Absolute shit show over the past. And then, you know what's crazy is a week ago, today's Monday. A week ago, we were trading at 80K. We hit 80K last Monday, 88K. So last week, people were saying market cycle top in on Monday, 7 days ago. We hit new all-time highs today, 7 days later, after people called cycle top. Then we had the weekend shit show. I am fully with you guys. This is the most shit show thing I've ever experienced in crypto. I'm not gonna lie with you. I'm right there with you. But whoever said it was gonna be easy, right? Like in an industry where you can make so much money, it's not gonna be handed to you, right? You have to go through this shit. Worst day since May 2021. I mean, maybe for you, but not for the market, man. This isn't anything close like May 2021. Not even close. I watched that video, but I mean in terms of hours. No, I wasn't working. I was full-time. How long you been in crypto? Long enough now. I've been full-time since 2022. So 3 years. Yeah, if you take profits to the bank. So Livid, initially I took 10% of my entire capital. I think I did it early in December. I can't remember, but it's somewhere early in December. It was like the first week of December. I took 10% of my entire capital to the bank just because things went wild. And then I took a lot fucking more. Somewhere on like the 17th. Livid, you're in Paragon, so you probably remember that post that I made. Thoughts on ONDO unlocks after this weekend? To be honest, man, ONDO doesn't look terrible to me. It actually looks really clean. As long as it can continue holding like 127, 128, I don't think this looks bad. I don't think it looks terrible. We'll have to see though. Like with ONDO, I just want more price action. Just go sideways a little bit and I'll see. Trump is cooked. Let's see. What price is Trump trading at? Jesus. Yeah, it was a weird moment. No. I don't really have any thoughts on this. What do you think about Trump's World Liberty Finance that bought several coins? What's the effect, do you think, on those coins? I mean, will it cause buy the news? It short term, yes. Like day of, short term, yeah. Got any plans for grass? I covered grass earlier today. So There's a lot of conversation on grass. It'll be timestamped in the stream tomorrow, so if you don't want to scroll back, you can always come back tomorrow for timestamps. I'm probably gonna wrap up the stream in the next 5-10 minutes. So any questions you want answered, now's the time. I got a lot of underwater bags that I bought last year before I learned how to trade. How would you play this? Just like that? Yes. So I don't want to tell you to sell. I don't want to tell you to do anything. But if I put myself in those shoes, I want a clean slate. I want an absolute fresh, clean slate. If I know what I'm doing now, I don't want to hold the baggage of prior trades and allow those positions to affect my mentality going forward. I just chalk it up to a learning experience. I say that's a lesson from the market. I don't want those positions anymore. Or maybe I do, you know, but honestly, like if you're profitable now, you know what you're doing now, you don't want those bags anymore. Like if you do, right? I mean, you take it as a fresh trade. You don't even think about it as underwater. You ask yourself, would I buy this today at this price? And if the answer is no, you're like, I would absolutely not buy this today at this price, then fuck that bag. Oh, gotcha. Gotcha, Mendoza. Lord Sneed. You have, how many names do you have, brother? A8. What the hell is A8? I don't think this looks that good. I don't think this looks that good. Your best bet for something like this is that it, in confluence with like the weeklies, puts in an accumulation range, like a long standing range, and does something like that. I personally don't like the way this looks. Yeah, man, thank you. Dog's good. Dog's good. Did you talk about Sol? I did. Did I? Yeah, I did. I did talk about Solana. Trade plans and stuff. I'm not really interested yet in Solana. I know that it's trading in the 4-hour trend. I know this is technically a good setup. I took a trade on it yesterday for this move. But from here, I want it to reclaim this prior all-time high level. Like I want this so that I know that I'm not just like longing into like a complacency, you know? Yeah, I talked about all this before, Florian. We talked about everything before. It'll all be timestamped tomorrow. So with the remaining time of the stream, I don't really want to go over it again. Do you have any opinion on what sector of money will rotate into once the Trump pump is done? Okay, so here's my leading thought process on this. I haven't talked about this today. But where did those 500,000 new wallets get onboarded? They got onboarded onto Moonshot. So where is the natural course for that money to rotate to if it wanted to rotate? If those people didn't, you know, if those people are going to keep money in crypto, where is the natural place, the easiest place for them to rotate laterally? It's Moonshot coins. And what's on Moonshot? Meme coins. So I think there's a possibility, because Trump's coin was technically a meme coin, I think it's possible to see a resurgence in the meme narrative after the Trump stuff. FWOG? There's nothing to say on FWOG. I think I talked about FWOG earlier in the stream. Did I? I don't know. here's what I'll say on this. There is a massive amount of selling coming into FWOG. Like the last few weeks. Massive. And they're selling at 85% down. High to low, 83% down. Maybe on some exchanges it was lower, but this is MEXC. 83% down from the highs. Massive amount of selling. If we look at like even like volume coming in, right? These are pretty high levels of transactions, you know, occurring right now. So I think it's just final stages of whales selling their remaining stacks. This black line you see at the bottom is a listing anchored VWAP, right? So we haven't even tested this in the longest amount of time. Hopefully that helps provide support if we have to make a drive lower. I do think this is rounding out. This is our first drive down. That's our second drive down. This is our third drive down. So 1, 2, 3. As long as it can go sideways here, I think it'll pump again. That's my leading thesis. Also, you guys should know that I'm biased. I have a bag of this. I'm very bullish on this. So those are, you know, put that into perspective as well, right? FARTCOIN. We talked about FARTCOIN earlier, did we not? Or did I talk about it in Paragon? Probably talked about it in Paragon. This is not bad. Okay, so prior all-time high, demand, sweep into demand. You really want this wick to hold for continuation. You want this 4-hour trend, which has dominated this uptrend thus far, to continue holding. You want the confluence of the demand to continue holding, and you want the confluence of the prior all-time high to continue holding. I don't think it looks terrible. Blob thesis? Don't have a blob thesis, man. Closed the blob trade long time ago. Took the L on this one. Jesus. Is this it? Yeah, I don't remember where I closed this, but it was a while ago that I closed this. I don't know where I closed it. I didn't make money on this, by the way. I didn't make any money on this. Oh, no, I meant we could see a rotation into faction. Yeah, FARTCOIN from Trump. I got you. I got you. How did you meet Jingo? Jingo was probably one of the first 10, 20 people that joined the clinic. So all the way back in 2022. Yeah, 2022. I made my own Discord, right? I was on Twitter. I was just, I had maybe 500 followers. I don't know. Less? I don't know. Whatever it was. 1,000? I don't know what it was. And I used to just tweet publicly. Like I used to just share my trades all the fucking time, which I did all the way until like late 2023 or something. And, you know, I just made a Discord. I was like, I need to share ideas in long form, and I want to bounce ideas off people, and they can share their trades, and they can share ideas, and they can tell me why they're bullish this and bullish that. And, you know, maybe they'll be good at something that I suck at, and I'm good at something that they suck at, and we can all help each other. And Jingo was one of the first ones to join. And I think he learned some from me. I learned some from him. And yeah, I don't know. Just he was one of the first boys, and he's, you know, I consider him a good friend. I've never met him. I don't know him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't know his name or anything like that, but he's one of the online homies, man. I love Jingo. Always brings good vibes. Very funny dude. Thoughts on POPCAT? Oh no, dude. Holy fuck. This is brutal. Hopefully it's fucking bottomed. Jesus. Found support here several times. All the way back. I mean, just like I always say, it's going to need to round off. It's going to need to form some support here. It's going to need to reclaim high time frame trends. It's got a lot of work to do. How do you, well, I can't answer that question directly, but I can say, how do you deal with fear of anything? Is experience and repetition. And then you eventually learn what you're doing. Can Trump grab all the attention from Pepe till the end of the cycle? I don't think so. But I think some people definitely sold Pepe to buy Trump. All right. I'm going to call the stream there. I appreciate you guys for hanging out with me. If you could do me a favor and hit the like button on your way out and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And one last time, a big shout out. Let's see if I still have the... Big shout out to Blofin, who's the sponsor of the stream. Like I said, guys, easy work for you guys if you're trading online anyways. There's no KYC, easy to sign up, make an account, trade a little bit, enter into a raffle to win $1,500. There's going to be 2 winners. It's this week only. So make sure you guys get that done. Very, very easy. And like I said, not that many people sign up. Like, they really don't. So it's going to be really easy for you guys to get into probably $1,500 for free. So check that out. There's a link in the description box below. Here's the kind of, requirements and stuff like that. Feel free to pause the video and read them. But big shout out to Blofin. I appreciate them for sponsoring the stream. And I'll see you guys next week. Love you. Bye-bye.